left hand has an octave, and then the right hand also has octave. You also wanted to identify that this is the end of a slur. The first staccato is the end of a slur, so much passive. And then the second one is the active one. End of a slur and active. And then you break down the left hand. There is a merit of reversing everything. So after you try that, do this with the left hand. Okay, so when you're first encountering like any kind of new modules, and when you come up with any kind of new modules, the first thing that you wanted to figure out is the timing. So it's always never a bad idea to try to do it with any kind of fingerings. Until you understand the timing, because then when you want to translate it into just one hand or the outer finger, for example, you understand which note is longer, and then, or if you wanted to make it, how does it transfer between the other fingers? So when you do that, it becomes clear. Okay, so I have to hang on, like my fourth finger is more important than the fifth, because this, if I snap it, it's gonna make more sound anyway. Or you could use three. Don't need to be that fast, but the most important thing is that you don't go up and down like this. You don't do that, because that's a lot of time for you to go back. So I know where my bottom without having to stretch, and I hope I'm going to make that one. So you're really landed, you're really going from here to here to here to here to here to... Okay, the next step to it is to figure out, you wanted to start adding the thumb, but the key to this is that you see, you don't want to travel like that with the thumb. The thumb can be, that's totally okay. And so how do you feel crawling on the other finger like that, which you already know? Now add the thumb. How does it feel to not move up and down so much? So just moving from, like, after finishing the flick, you move to the next one. Now reverse it. forget about the second finger, but I don't want you to cram. That's not the idea, but to just let the second finger relax and be there. Do you see that here, when I'm here, my second finger lifts up? And that I wanted to eradicate. So another thing is not to go in and out and in and out and in and out, so that you're wasting so much movement. So be very okay to play in here. Okay, and yes, this has this movement, the thumb has that movement, but you don't really have to go and transfer your joint there. You could play on the tip. Okay, so why I say that you need to learn hands together, so you understand the coordination. Otherwise, you're going to learn their coordination separately, and then you have to figure it out all together. And then, sometimes then you have to unlearn some of the things that you have already learned when you were doing it single-handedly. And after that, you wanted to try the 1 and the 2. The key to this one is that you need to understand where your second finger is going to be, the middle note, because they're going to be sometimes, and a lot of the times, at the same place. But even though that they're the same note, they become different when they come back into it again, because they're a different member of a different chord. It's practically learning this relationship. That's the gist of it, so that you don't. I don't care no matter how graceful you think that is, but that's really not helpful. Then it's time to do chords. Okay, so just figure out where you are moving in relation to. Okay, so here you're moving close from G flat to A flat. Figure out the mapping here. See? D flat to E flat. C, E flat to B flat. So I see where I can crawl into the next space, which notes that I could use to feel connected in between them. After you're used to that, we're gonna learn how this thumb move. Because you don't want to. So you want to map out this. See, the thumb can be anywhere. You don't really have to bring the joint to there. That's what you wanted to figure out, right? So make this close. See, how can I get from here to here? There is that movement, but it's not big. The more you do it, the more you learn to make it smaller and smaller. Actually, you don't really need to leave the key, you just need to release. That's why there's a lot of misunderstanding maybe when I said like do that, is that you only see this, but there's actually inside, you finish that movement, you just don't aggressively do it. You've learned to do it in octaves, now it's time to break it apart. And then you get used to the lower note. So you get used to what that feels like. So I'm just figuring out how does this feel, right? Besides this one, you have this one too. Both has to be figured out, like how do you move? All the time, the fingers are moving the arms and palms. You need to be clear that the goal is to move less. Then you can go into putting all these together.